Hello, and welcome back to 60 Minutes. Today, we will dive into the vibrant life of Elijah McVeigh, a 24-year-old art student and line cook from Eureka, California. Elijah, who identifies as pansexual and presents with a feminine flair, is known for his outgoing, funny, and emotionally expressive nature. Beneath his silly, attention-seeking humor lies a deep need for connection, shaped by a distant relationship with his parents. Often facing the stereotypes tied to being an art major, Elijah navigates life with a mellow yet initially expressive spirit, a love for creativity, and an openness to experiences, including marijuana use. We have unit experts sharing their expertise on Elijah McVeigh. Our first expert will be speaking on how Elijah represents concepts from Unit 1. Please welcome Noah.
Hello, my name is Noah, and there were some things that we were able to find. The main way that Elijah exerts temperance is when he controls his thoughts and behaviors by resisting to speak out rude comments towards other people. He makes wise decisions when it comes to using substances based on where he's at, and also he's able to regulate his urges when it comes to using substances. Elijah shows resilience when he adapts to his surroundings when it comes to people talking about his own sexuality by understanding that people can have weird thoughts about him. When people humiliate him or make fun of him, he can ignore those people, and by doing so, can stay strong about what he believes, which helps him build perseverance. Connecting to resilience, Elijah uses self-talk as well. He uses this by showing both positive and negative self-talk. He's able to build confidence in himself and reduce his stress levels. Some examples of positive self-talk are, "You can do this," or "Believe in yourself." He shows negative self-talk when it comes to having a bad grade on an assignment, saying things like, "What is wrong with you?" or "You're not smart enough." His negative self-talk is based on the mood he's in and can also affect his behavior throughout the day.
To conclude our discussion of Unit 1, Vanessa will discuss the concept of problem-focused coping.
When it comes to Elijah's coping strategies, he has various different methods, one of which is using marijuana and other substances. He does not depend on these substances, but he uses them as a habitual thing. He also likes to paint, which is a calming way for him to cope and express himself. He's very expressive and outgoing, but painting is the best outlet for him to connect with his inner self.
Thank you, Vanessa. And now we will discuss how Elijah represents concepts we've discussed in Unit 2. We will be hearing from Tabor. Elijah can represent Imago Dei because of the way he presents himself. His crazy outfits with bold colors are a clear indicator of how much he values his body. He was given. Imago Dei can typically be seen as the belief of humans being created in the image and likeness of God, which gives each person inherent dignity, value, and purpose. Elijah's use of substances shows a genetic disposition towards addiction. He is more susceptible to certain traits or disorders. These predispositions interact with the environment factors to shape behavior and development. As his parents and other family members before them had relied on drugs to achieve fulfillment, so might Elijah. Elijah represents emotion as a psychological concept. This can be seen in the way he experiences an event, develops a psychological response to the event, and then reacts and shows an emotional response. His behavior and decision-making are often influenced by the emotions he has. And returning with her expertise, Vanessa will speak about how Elijah connects to the concept of aggression to wrap up our discussion of Unit 2.
When it comes to Elijah's aggression, there isn't much to it as he is not an aggressive person. He's a very expressive person, so he doesn't have a lot of pent-up emotion that leads to aggression that makes him want to harm others or anything of that nature. He does not tend to become easily annoyed when talking with others or bothered by small inconveniences. He's not the type of person to let a small thing ruin his day or cause negative impacts on relationships. He is very level-headed and calm as he has mostly healthy coping strategies and communication that lets him maintain a calm demeanor.
As our conversation continues, we will shift towards discussing concepts covered in Unit 3. To speak on this subject, we have brought in Silas.
Good afternoon. I'm Silas. So Elijah experiences the effects of the avoidant and dismissive attachment type. He had a very challenging childhood. He did not have a good relationship with his father or his mother. He had two sisters as well. However, they had a great relationship with their father. This made matters even worse for Elijah. It emphasized the divide between him and his parents. As he got older, he continued to separate himself from his family as a whole. He met his future wife in high school and began spending a majority of his time with her. She was the only person at the time he felt any kind of connection with. As he got older, this did not change. He has continued to keep his inner circle close. The dismissive attitude towards relationships created by his parents' lack of connection with him as a child continued to plague him. His dad has since attempted to rekindle this relationship, but Elijah does not have any interest. His father has always loved sports and has reached out to him about the idea of attending a game. Elijah, deterred by his avoidant attachment, declined. Stereotypes are a downside to the way that Elijah uses art to cope with certain hardships, in the way that being an artist dictates the way that he dresses. He is very expressive with his clothing, which oftentimes draws in comments which are not always kind-hearted. He frequently gets stereotyped as an artist. People love poking fun at his daily attire, or how he observes the world through an artist's lens. He is simply doing what he enjoys. However, this does not come without side effects that are often negative. Many people do not even engage with him because they have already assumed they know all they need to know just based on his clothes and physical appearance alone. Elijah is an excellent example of reaction range. Elijah's hometown of Wairika is an extremely small and barren town in Northern California. He openly talks about how this affected who he is today. It truly left a lifelong impact on him. The effects of where he grew up, paired with his genetic traits and the way he was parented, truly shaped the young man he is today. Who he is was impacted greatly genetically, but if he had grown up in a much different demographic geographically, he would have been a much different person. The small town of Wairika shaped the person he is today greatly.
And to bring this all home, we'll be hearing from Vanessa one last time as she discusses gender schema and spiritually made.
For Elijah, his gender schema has been made through a lot of different cultural values he's experienced while growing up. He is a more feminine male and carries a few characteristics along the female gender schema. He's very emotionally expressive, which is more typical for females. He's also very outgoing and holds an attention-seeking attachment, which is also linked to female lifestyles, as they are more expressive and attention-seeking. Elijah also does art, and being in that female-dominant expressive culture impacts how he expresses himself. He is aware of the gender norms, even though he himself doesn't align with all of them. When it comes to spiritually made, Elijah leans more agnostic than spiritual. He goes to church with his wife as support for her, but he doesn't claim to be a Christian. It is not a spiritual practice for him or a belief he lives his life around. He doesn't base his values around his faith as it's unclaimed. He does not follow the practices of the Christian faith as he uses substances, and he doesn't believe in the core values and historical teachings of the Bible. It is purely a routine for him to go to church with his wife.
And that's our 60 minutes. Thanks for tuning in to our discussion on Elijah McVeigh.